Hello, welcome to Calls with your Kinky Bestie. I'm Emma. I am a submissive and mentor for fellow kinksters. This podcast is all about insights into kinky life and dating, sharing my personal experience and stories, and help share mindset shifts too to get you into a confident space, more confident than you are now. So get ready. It all starts now. Hello. Fun stuff today. I'm diving into one of my favorite topics ever, which is abundance mindset. This is actually something that sometimes it's hard for me to share just because I was in this place for so long in my life, just fearing and feeling like there weren't enough options for me, or it's going to be hard for me to find kinky people that are compatible with me who actually want to date me. And I just used to live in such a place of fear and shame and, just this lacking mindset. But because I have ADHD and I have, as one of my symptoms of that, a bit of, my memory is not always the most reliable, and it can be really hard for me to remember things, the further away from that event I am. So sometimes it's hard for me to actually talk about this topic and put it into words because I've been out of that lack state for such a long time. Like, my reality is just, there are all of the options for me. Everyone wants to be with me and give me what I want. So usually that's kind of the beauty of my one-on-one calls, is I'm able to just really shift people into that mindset by sharing how I feel about it. So it can be hard sometimes to, logify it and break it down. But I'm going to try to do that today. I've listed out, just thoughts and ideas around this. And first things first, we're going to talk about, hey, is there actually a shortage of DOMs or a shortage of kinky people? And then how to get into the abundance mindset around that. So first of all, I do not believe that there is a shortage of DOMs or a shortage of kinky people. I have a lifetime of experiences that have kind of led to me getting to that personal belief. So do your own I tried to do some research before this episode of are there more DOMs than subs in this world? And, I couldn't really find much, so maybe actual research will come out around this topic and we can put it to numbers. But from just my personal experiences and what I've noticed in the kink community, I absolutely do not believe that there is a shortage of DOMs. Number one, because if you go to any just like kinky dating, video on YouTube, cheesy thing, whatever, you will find a comment section full of people saying, oh, well, I'm a dom and it's so hard for me to find subs, the same way that subs will leave that same comment of, I'm a sub, but it's so hard to find the right dom. I also just know from being a submissive on FetLife, oh my God, you're going to be absolutely hounded with doms who just, want to talk to you and dominate you, and just, you just really don't actually see a shortage of people who have this desire of their own. But, okay, so that's like on paper what I've seen in the world, kind of my beliefs around that. But on a deeper, more like woo-woo spiritual level, I do believe that, your desires are divine. And because you have a desire and a want for something in this world, that means that you are meant to have that, experience it, to discover it, to have that desire fulfilled. There's so much talk in the woo-woo space about intuition and trusting your intuition. And if you have a hard time, with that whole idea, my perspective on that is that your desires are your intuition. And, if you have really, really strong desires and drives and things that you're wanting, which if you have ADHD, you probably it happens hard and fast for you. You can easily hyperfixate on a new topic that you're very excited about. And, I don't think that comes out of nowhere. I think, if something's coming to you as a person, it's meant for you as a person to experience and, have. So that's kind of like the woo-woo level of this. But let's also bring it into the manifestation perspective. So manifestation is science. Like, it's not just woo-woo. This is a very widely researched that what we believe to be true, we will create to be true through, our behaviors and just like over the course of our lives and all that good stuff. So the easiest way that I found to shift out of that scarcity lacking mindset is to just, and to make those, because it really comes down to fear, right? That if you're wanting a dom and you're believing that there's a dom shortage, then there's a fear with that of like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able, to find a dom to meet my desires. Sorry, I was just checking. Okay. Just checking how far into this episode I am. I kind of get lost in time sometimes. Okay. So it really comes down to the fear of, because there's a lack of this thing and I want this thing, that means that there's a possibility I might not have this thing that I want. And that can be really scary and discouraging. So if you're operating from this place of truly genuinely believing there's not enough DOMs in this world to go around, these are like, a special resource, or even, you can also translate that just to other kinks as well. So if you believe, you don't necessarily have any thoughts around, a DOM versus sub shortage or wherever it is, you can also just, this often comes down to, oh, well, my kink is too bizarre. There can't possibly be someone else on this planet who is also interested in this thing and wanting to do it with me specifically, like those kinds of beliefs. If you're operating from that space of, I don't think I can have this because, there's just not enough to go around, it would be very hard to make happen for me, then it's going to be even harder to then start taking actions that would ultimately result in you getting that thing. If you're constantly being cock-blocked a bit by your brain and your thoughts, telling you like, oh, why would I even bother with a kinky, with a dating app when there's not enough kinky people to go around? Or whenever, I do go on that dating app, I'm not spending a ton of energy or, attention on it. And not actually perceiving the people who very well could give me what I want as viable options, because I don't think there's, just enough options to go around. Or you can also get in that space of hyperfixating on, just the one or two or, however many rare, quote unquote, rare people you find who you think can give you this thing. By, you believing that there's just only so many options. So I really need to make whatever option I can real. Then, it's, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on that person. It's, they're going to be able to sense that, this clinging on to them, and they're not really, there's a hilarious quote. I don't know if anyone watches Better Things. It's on Hulu now. I think it's produced by FX though. Does that sound right? And, the whole show is about motherhood. So there's a mom, she's got some kids, and then, her mom's in the picture too, like the grandmother, who says, a man never chases a stopped bus. And I love that quote, and obviously we can take the gender out of it, and we can just say, okay, a person's not going to chase something that's not moving. But it's really true. If you really are operating in this space and mindset of, there's only one or two people on this earth who can give me what I want, so they need to be the ones to give me what I want. And, just, that place of like forcefulness and pushing, it's probably not gonna, result in a very mutual relationship or a mutual desire. And also, if you're a sub, which you probably are if you're here, it's getting you out of that subspace too, where you're really slipping into more of a doming, controlling mindset of, I need to make this happen. And then, you're not even getting your desire met in the first place. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you're not even someone who would be a compatible match for that dom you want and that subby relationship you want to have, because you're not even able to be in the role where you desire to be. So let's get out of that, because that sounds fucking awful. We'll take a little break and then we'll come back and talk about mindsets to adopt instead and how that will inform and change your behaviors and ultimately the outcome that you're going to get from all of this, because your desires are divine. Your desires are, there's a reason that they're coming to you, so let's make them happen for you. Okay. Yeah, pause, we'll be right back. Just a little break to share that if you are loving this podcast and my content, if I'm someone you could see yourself working with, but you're wanting more direct support for your specific situation, I do offer mentorship. It's personalized to you, private video or phone calls with me, so you can chat about your situation and figure out a solution that's going to work for you. You can visit my website. It is kinkybestie.com/mentorships to see what's available and to book in your spot on my calendar. It's kinky with a Y at the end and bestie with an IE at the end. The link will be in the show notes, so you can check it out there. Back to the show. Okay, we're back. We're talking about lack mindset, how to get out of it so that you can have the things that you want, because I want that for you. You deserve that if you want it. So let's make it happen. Okay, so let's debunk those beliefs. So I'm just gonna riff off of basically the title of this episode, like this belief and fear really that I commonly hear from subs in the community who think that there's a shortage of doms, or subs are just outnumbering doms. But I'd really encourage you here to think about what are the other limiting beliefs or lacking beliefs or beliefs from a place of scarcity that you have around this topic. Like, just what's come up for you? What do you think is not an option for you because of outside, circumstances relating to lack of resources? So please think about what those are for you. Write them out, do your thing. And yeah, we're going to talk about the dom shortage thing. Okay, so if that's what you believe, obviously those beliefs are going to create some actions that are not going to be in line with you getting the thing that you want. So let's shift that instead. Let's say the new belief is there are an endless amount of doms available to me. There are infinite partners available to me who share my desires or who want to fulfill my desires. Okay, put this in your own words, do your thing. But that's the gist of it, right? Is that there are many, countless, boundless options available to me. So if that's what you believe, let's inform your behaviors accordingly. Okay, so you believe now, this is your new belief that you're stepping into. And if you're feeling resistance around the statement you create, just keep rewording it and working it until it gets to a place that you can stand behind. Because if your belief is still not if if this is just a statement to you and not actually your belief, you're still not going to be fully embodying those behaviors if you still believe in the back of your mind that they're not true. So let's just get out of that resistance. And if you need to make it neutral, you can. You can make it like, ooh, there's at least, one more option available to me that I'm not seeing. Can you get behind that belief? Yes? Okay, cool. Then what would be the belief that's even a little bit higher than that, like at the next level, or like step further than that? Just that there are the perfect amount of doms in the world for the people who desire those relationships. Can you get behind that? Yes? Cool. Then what's even the level above that? And if you can't get behind that, let's bring it down a little bit until it starts to feel right. but yeah, the goal of this is to really, push your beliefs past what they are now, because if you have these beliefs around lack, it's just not a good fun situation for you. The other fun, not so fun thought that comes to mind, because I've heard this as well from people who are in a relationship with a dominant. Like, they still have this belief that there are only so many doms in this world. And the thing is that if you have that belief, even though you do, have the thing that you want on paper, you still have this belief that's based in, scarcity, shortage of resources, and lack. And because you're still in that lack mindset, you're still probably you have this fear in the back of your head that's not fun to live with. Maybe you have, ego thoughts like, oh, this is a rare fluke. I must do everything I can to cling on to this person. And you're probably going to be making, behaving in a certain way and making decisions around that belief that, again, are, going to create pressure for your relationship, pressure on the person. And maybe, probably even ultimately align with you not getting that relationship anymore. Maybe you're self-sabotaging it because you think, hey, this is so rare, and there's all these subs in the world who want this dom, so who am I to have them, because they're the one of the very few rare options. So I don't believe I'm as good as these other subs. I think they should have it. So maybe self-sabotaging it for others. Like, there's just so many layers that this can go deeper and deeper and deeper. So I encourage you, even if you do have that thing you want on paper, like, still, let's challenge these beliefs and get out of that mindset. So, okay, you've created your new belief in the form of some sort of statement. So now let's think about what are ways that you're going to act differently in your day-to-day life because you have this new belief, and how that can, get you towards the thing that you want. So let's say you believe there's not a dom shortage. How should I frame this in a positive way? There's plenty of dominant partners who have my kinks, who are compatible with me, who I'm attracted to, who are attracted to me too, and want to participate in my kinks with me. Yay, amazing, you have that belief. Okay, so then when you're on dating apps, you're going to be behaving in a way that says to the world, hey, I know that there are options out there for me, so it's going to be easier for you to take those steps towards that happening. It's probably going to be easier for you to carry those conversations with these people, because it's again going to be from more of that positive, even neutral to the person place, because you don't have to put this person on a pedestal anymore, because you know that if they're not the one for you, that's okay, because 100 other doms in line are. So you're actually just coming at it from this place of curiosity, because there's so many amazing options out there towards you, for you. So what is it that I want, and what can this person bring to me that maybe this other one can't right away? And just what am I finding myself attracted to and drawn to and want to be around? And that's something that's going to be felt by the people that you're dating too. It totally goes both ways. So I'm trying to think of a personal example where whenever I was able to shift into this mindset, I didn't even limit myself to where I was searching anymore. Because I noticed whenever I was using kinky dating apps, they typically just had, a smaller amount of users, and that didn't align with my beliefs and what I wanted. Whenever I believed there's all these, people available towards me, and then I would swipe for a few days and run out, this must not be where my people are, because there are people for me. So I would just go somewhere else. So I would go to, a vanilla dating app that kind of put those beliefs in a physical form of oh my gosh, you can really keep swiping on those apps forever and never run out. And that was the belief that I had, that I could swipe forever and not run out of options for me. So by going onto those vanilla dating apps instead, I was also shifting my mindset a little bit into when you believe that there's a shortage, your mind kind of goes to this place of what's the most efficient way that I can, find this person who's going to tick all my boxes. Well, first I got to create a list of boxes, and then I have to, one by one, first thing, see if this person crosses off every one. And, that's where you find yourself having a lot of, three message conversations on a dating app that are just you basically grilling and interviewing the person. Hey, do you have XYZ? Nope. Bye. I didn't have to do that anymore because I believed that there was an amazing dom out there for me who wanted to find me the same way that I wanted to find them. So if I was talking to someone, that meant that they were looking for me too. And, there was a reason that they were along my path. And of course, ultimately, that resulted in me having my lovely dommy partnership that I do now in such a different way than than the ways I had, acted and found people previously. Because, before my current partner, I had that mindset a little bit. And so I was really only, interested in people that were 100% right off the bat, like, portraying online as like the thing I want. Like those are the people I would like go after like a laser. And I would do that. And, whenever I would actually date those people, realize, oh, there's a lot of their pieces about their actual life that I don't really like, or their personality or stuff. But, they're a dom and I want to be with a dom. So I would still just kind of make it happen and spend, large quantities of time and just emotional investment into someone who just ultimately wasn't the right option for me. And then, by being in those situations, I could have found my partner, a year sooner than I did. And that is just such a, there's nothing I can do about it now. And I do think things worked out the way that they did, that for a reason, but I can only imagine, the pain and heartache I could have skipped by just starting there instead. So I hope this episode is really helpful for you. This is a really fun one to talk about. Like I said, this is something that's hard for me to put into words because I'm just so far removed from that scarcity mindset now. If you have more questions about this, always submit them to my podcast. I've got links below so you can just answer questions. You can ask questions that I'll answer in future episodes and stuff. And of course, if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can. I'm a peer mentor, so we can totally, you and me, chit-chat and work through your stuff together. Or just, find community and peer mentorship and support for you. I love that for you. I want that for you. Okay, I will see you in the next lovely episode. And goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me this episode. You can follow the podcast on the platform where you're listening to get updates with new episodes. You can follow me on social media at Kinky Bestie. I'm on Instagram. You can also check the show notes for any links or resources that I talked about in this episode, or just more ways to connect with me. And please share this with your kinky friends who could benefit from this type of content. There is also an option for each podcast episode to engage with Q&As or polls. So I'd love to hear from you and create future episodes around what you want to chime in with. So please check those out in the show notes too. And I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.